What's up guys, Kyokai1994 here, going to talk to you about anything, you guessed it, Dragon Ball, from Ball to Z and everything in between, and today we will be having a conversation over the Tournament of Power and Dragon Ball Super, and I think it's an important time to have this conversation on my channel. If you haven't been watching the tournament lately, it's been ramping up at an excessive point, and we've been seeing more mind-blowing feats with the rules slowly fading away for the enjoyment of Zeno, universes being erased from existence, insane matchups, amazing power, fusions, new forms, a whole lot of questions, and only 21 minutes left of this Battle Royale as of the last episode. But today, me and my special guest will be discussing what we think about the tournament, not really so far, but where we think it's going to proceed to in the future and actually end up if it ever does end. But before talking about the Tournament of Power, I want to introduce my special guest for the very first time to this channel. This man knows all about the power levels, has a small obsession with a precious 24-karat metal, and can whip up an amazing cocktail or shot. My friend Golden Scouter, what's up, man?
Not too much. I am the Golden Scouter, and I make some pretty golden cocktails, but thanks for the kind words, and I'm happy to be here.
I can agree you make some amazing cocktails. I can't wait to try one in IRL instead of having to fucking whip one up myself at home, because I know I'm not even close to the bartender that you are. I definitely want you guys to make sure that you go down to the link in the description below to check out Golden Scouter's channel. He makes a lot of awesome Dragon Ball content, and I really want you guys to check it out. I know that you're really going to find something that you enjoy, just as myself. I'm super obsessed with his cocktails, if you can't tell. But if you hit his sub button, you're going to stay up to date with a bunch of great ideas, a bunch of great reviews, and even some gameplay on that channel. But for the rest of the video, me and Scouter are going to talk about just basically our thoughts of where the Tournament of Power is going, how it's going to end, and just kind of our thoughts on the whole, Tournament of Power so far. So, in the last episode, we got to see something amazing. Not only did we see some of the best animation, if not the best animation, and I know a lot of people would be on the side of the best animation in Dragon Ball Super so far, because everybody knows that that episode was beautiful. But we got to see the fusion of Caulifla and Kale in the form of Kafla or Kefla. I believe the Crunchyroll subs was Kefla. They pronounce it Kafla. There's going to be a huge argument for the next, forever about it. It's just one of those dub changes again. Well, I guess not a dub change. It's a sub change about how they, interpreted the Japanese language. But this leads to a thing that I want to see first in the tournament. And I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but I do see it coming within the next 10 episodes. And that is a Gogeta or Vegito introduction to the Tournament of Power. We got to see the Potara fusion, like I said, with the Universe 6 Saiyans. And I'm super excited. I love Gogeta. I would love for them to make him canon. I would love to see a Kaioken times 10,000 blue Gogeta, or whatever incredible thing Toei is going to think of for merchandising and making all of these toys. But I want to pick up some of your thoughts, Scouter, on what you think of Gogeta or Vegito being introduced into the tournament sometime soon.
It actually sounds like something that would really be kind of like a finale. Like, so far we're kind of seeing the fireworks show, but it seems like that seeing Gogeta go like Kaioken times 1000 or something like that versus Jiren, that seems like that'd be a grand finale kind of fight. So, personally, I would like to see that because, yeah, there's that part of me who just kind of likes to fanboy out a little bit on these massive powers and just like, wow, these people are just basically surpassing their limits and just going above and beyond. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the time over in just the Buu arc, whenever, back in the day, nobody really conceived of just fusion being possible. But then we saw this showdown of Buu absorbing Ultimate Gohan, of course being built up to be the best and strongest character, versus two of the biggest and strongest protagonists, Goku versus Vegeta. So to me, I'd like to see that something like that in the tournament. I mean, Vegito, a lot of people, including myself, thought that he didn't have enough screen time in the Zamasu arc, Future Trunks arc. So, to me, I think that seeing Gogeta, especially since a lot of people want to see him canon after all, quote-unquote canon, I think that that would be a really good way to introduce him. Especially if they want to go the whole route of just like, hey, like we're not going to break the rules and use Potara like Kefla or Kafla. So Goku and Vegeta.
We're using a technique. Yeah, we're not using items. We're not the cheaters because we're Universe 7 and we're going to do a technique in this silly dance.
Yeah, but that there's also the point where Roshi also used the Mafuba and he used that
Yeah.
jar too. And who
Man, you
knows?
couldn't really see it. It was fine.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, just going above and beyond just the whole weapons thing, like, what makes a weapon for Universe 3? Because they're mostly mechanical. Like, could they make a... Sorry. Could they attach just Frost's needle and just be like, hey, this is part of this guy's body, so it's not against the rules technically, so...
Just
Not
weld
too
a
sure.
machine gun to his arm and they're like, it's part of him.
Yeah, or just some kind of, like, dematerializer beam or something like that.
Yeah, just something crazy. But, so, I'm going to put you on the spot real quick. Where you fall on the Vegito-Gogeta argument. Which one would you rather see?
Honestly, I think we've seen Vegito enough. I mean, not enough technically, because I just said a few seconds ago that in episode 66 he should have been around longer. But honestly, I'd like to see Super's take on a Gogeta design. Because, I mean, we've seen him in movie 11 or 12, if I'm remembering correctly. And then we saw him in GT, but those are both takes that were done 2 decades ago. So I would honestly love to see a take on a Gogeta design in today's day.
Yeah, and the other thing about it, like, movie 12, they're like, he's in it for not perfect numbers, but let's say a guesstimated 7 to 11 minutes, and he just wrecks shop on Janemba the whole time, dude. I've always been a huge fanboy of Gogeta, and, like, I really want them to bring him back. Like, I really wanted them to bring him back in the anime, and when they didn't do that, I was like, oh, maybe they'll do it in the manga, so it would be a cool little change, but, you know, I'm not getting to see Gogeta yet, so I'm upset about that, and I want to see Gogeta more than anything in this tournament, and having two separate kinds of fusions can also, on a power scaling, argument, even though it's Goku and Vegeta, it would be really interesting to have a Potara fusion go against a Metamare's dance fusion, because we have things, even though things can be retconned, we've seen it happen, from the exact same episode where, he says it lasts forever, where the Elder Kai says that the Potara fusion lasts forever. He says, oh, that stupid dance, or that silly dance. So it would be kind of interesting to see the showdown between that stupid dance and those stupid earrings. Other than Gogeta and Vegito, I know you were thinking of mischief that could happen inside of the tournament because of the rules, if you wanted to elaborate on that.
I honestly think I have this wild theory, just because Super especially has been kind of ending on these lighthearted notes. I mean, not the whole time, of course, because the whole Universe 6 tournament ended on kind of a funny note with the whole thing of Monaka winning. So I honestly think that the whole thing of, like, the whole tournament ends, and then the person who doesn't break the rules wins. Like, maybe because Zeno is just, like, fanboying out and just like, whoa, 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 this is so cool. We haven't really seen the Grand Priest really take any action or anything like that. I mean, whenever Frost got eliminated, the Grand Priest didn't really do anything or really say anything besides just, like, he tried to attack from the stand, so he's erased. It was Zeno, the one who actually pulled the trigger in that case. But what I was thinking of is that this kind of reminds me of that one filler scene whenever Goku versus Paikuhan, where they both touched the ceiling, and then the fight ended, and then the Grand Kaioshin was just like, you guys both touched the ceiling, and you guys violated the rules, but I'm going to bend it for you, or... Well, I don't know. It could translate into a way where Zeno or the Grand Priest decide, like, okay, well, maybe because this universe didn't break any rules, they're the ones who wins this tournament. And it brings in that whole thing of, like, how we never guessed they'd win, like something like Universe 2. Like I was talking about earlier, it seems like that almost everyone has been using weapons. I mean, this could even branch out into Universe 11, because I don't think Universe 11 has really used any weapons, at least
I'll
from my
also say,
knowledge.
not only weapons, but items. Everybody's been using items.
Yeah, it does seem like that. Because I mean, that even that one RoboCop guy, he like pushed his belt, and I mean, kind of on a more humorous note, it's just like, well, then what counts as a weapon? Does that mean that everyone should just fight naked or something like that? Because I mean, it kind of reminds me of Yu Yu Hakusho, where Yusuke slaps off his freaking shirt and then wraps it around Sensui's freaking forearm and just starts pummeling him. So I mean, could a shirt be used as a weapon? Was Krillin's shoe a weapon? I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
it just brings up a lot of questions.
No, yeah, and see, the thing about it is like, I guess a lot of the fan base just doesn't put it into their front of their mind, is that like it's still a child's television show, and like it is a younger demographic that they're writing for. I mean, the language and everything is not that bad, but you could see that like there's less blood in Super than there was to Z, because Z was in a prime time spot, whereas Super is now being aired on Sundays in the morning for children. And having, a universe win because they're the only ones who didn't cheat is a very moral lesson for children, if that makes sense. Because I mean, I want to say the demographics probably like 12 to 18 is probably like what their demographic group is in Japan. I mean, I know that there's the weebs that live in Japan that 36 watching it, because there's us in America. I'm a weeb and I'm watching it. So the thing about it is like, I know that it's not specifically aimed at children, but they do have to write it in those standards. So seeing a moral victory of not cheating to cause the universe's decision of who lives and who dies no matter what, that's something interesting to me, and I'm really would be shocked if they did do this, but I feel like it would be a nice way to kind of shift into the universes either being wished back or reinstated, or the universes that are left just not being destroyed. Because it's like, okay, everybody's cheating. Either he has to erase everybody or he has to let the one person win. Or that's the other thing. Maybe everybody's cheating, and that's the thing is, hey, we can't call a winner since everybody's doing this. Tournament's over. I saw what I wanted to. We'll have one next year.
Yes, that would actually be a really good way to tie it in, because I mean, a lot of people have been saying, like, oh, well, someone's going to make a wish on the Dragon Balls to restore all the universes, and that's going to be something that brings back the 6 that were previously erased or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, it makes so much sense for this whole, like, no cheating morale to be introduced in the show, especially since what you were saying, Dragon Ball Super is a kid's show, and it's more of a kid's show now than it ever was. I mean, Dragon Ball at least.
Even Dragon Ball, man, Goku's dick is in like a third of Dragon Ball. So, going on from cheating and talking about how maybe there will be a stalemate, the other thing that I kind of wanted to go into was maybe the tournament not finishing. That's another way, before I dive into this, that they could have a reoccurring Universal Tournament, which would keep bringing these characters from other universes back. I do want them, on a side note, to bring back the old universes, because I need my God Tube sensation back. Like, I'm so sad not seeing Gawasu that it's like unreal. I'm having like some kind of like, separation anxiety from him, because like the man is not posting videos anymore. Like, it's like a dead account now. I really would like to see like the tournament not finishing, for the fact of like blowing up the entire ring so everybody falls into the void because of this, like, like I said, Gogeta Kaioken times 20 Ultra Instinct, Golden Uzaru or something like that. Just like completely demolishing the whole stadium to the point where, since there's no flying, they're going to fall into the void. So if the whole ring gets taken out, that's a stalemate. How do you eliminate everybody? And maybe Zeno would come to that conclusion of like, everybody's dead. I'm just going to keep the universes that, made the mortal levels. And we'll talk to you guys never. There's also a lot of other things that could happen with the tournament not finishing, and I will dive into that in a second, but I did want to kind of get your take on like, what if the tournament doesn't finish and it just kind of, sputters out into the next arc?
I mean, it kind of seems like that might be implied, or at least that universes are going to be wished back. Because Goku and Vegeta both basically said, like, hey, we'll fight again or we'll meet again to the Universe 6 fighters. So to me, I think that it ending in a tie gives the stakes that everyone has been wanting of like, hey, let this tournament like actually erase some universes. Even like you were saying, it really does pain me to think that Gowasu might be gone forever if that's the case. But I think that that still allows for the Planet Sadala arc to happen, or just Goku to meet the Pride Troopers once again. Because, I mean, we haven't seen another universe get erased in quite some time. I'm pretty sure it was like episode 102 or something like that. So who knows? Maybe no other universes will be erased at this point. Or maybe it'll be 2 or 3 or something like that. But I think that it ending in maybe a 2, 3, or even 4-way tie might be a good way to end this, especially if they want to keep exploring other universes, because one of my criticisms going into this arc was, if there's only one universe remaining, why would they just like get rid of all these universes that everyone wants to explore? Like everyone's been talking about it. Like we want Universe 7 to go over to Universe 6, or we want Universe 6 to go over to Universe 7, or Universe 7 to go over to Universe 11. I mean, we've been hearing that so much, and to me, I mean, the super writers have to be listening to people. And I mean, they have to know they have to know that people want this and that this would be a good decision to happen for Universe 7 to go into other universes. So, I mean, the whole tie thing, it really does boil down into me wanting to see Universe 7 interact with different universes, more than anything, at
Yeah,
least.
and the thing about a tie is, like, since Zeno is a child, like, the concept of a tie being the ultimate, decider of them not dying because everybody has two people left is just like such a high stakes gamble, like a throw of the dice that like he was like, "Oh, there's two people left in all the universes and the time's up. You're all free to go back to your universes. I'll reinstate the other ones." Well, okay. I don't care about the other ones as much. Can we just reinstate 11 again? I'm going to keep coming back to that topic. Like, can we just reinstate that? And then we don't have to reinstate everybody either. Can we just reinstate Gawasu? That's fine with me. I'd be happy with that. But
Give him his GodTube channel back.
yeah, stop
and
copyright
then just say, like,
striking him.
just say I'll upload for you, Zeno. Just keep me alive.
He's just got to be real careful because, like, you know how Toei's been real nice about handing out those copyright strikes recently. From a tie, going back to the tournament not finishing, you could have a billion things happen with the tournament not finishing. We could have, a hierarchy of evil angels, like maybe one or two of them in the shadows, to where the Grand Priest, overthrows at the end because he sees way too much power. And, like, not only does it affect everybody there, but it affects him because we're told that the relationship between Beerus and Whis is mentor and student and friends. So we know that Whis is stronger than Beerus, and even though they state that Zeno is the strongest in the universe, what if the Grand Priest is really the strongest in the universe? He's the one behind all of this, possibly, and we could see, like, some kind of interesting arc where, like, we dive into, like, I don't know, some kind of weird, like, angel versus mortals thing to, over the gods. I don't know. It's something that I would like to dive into farther, but it's just really interesting to have the tournament just not finish. I mean, it's happened before. It happened with the Boo arc. I mean, we had a tournament not finish, and even though it upsets a lot of the people in the fan base when something like that happens, it's an interesting way to stop the story, but continue on and be able to, you know what? Not finishing the tournament is the ultimate way to retcon having to kill all of these universes. We don't have to even talk about a tie. Not finishing the tournament means they don't get erased. And what we have is we have the MVPs of the actual tournament going against some force or some foreign entity to actually save all of their universes. And that's something that's really interesting to me. I don't know about you, Scouter.
I mean, I like the idea of this whole tournament being used for a purpose. Like how you were saying about the Grand Priest, I would actually like to say that he's the smartest guy in all of the Omniverse, not the strongest. I'd probably give that to Zeno still. But maybe he has this tournament here for a purpose. Maybe he's trying to get Goku up to some kind of level. I mean, I think I've heard this theory somewhere, but Maybe I haven't. Maybe it's something that's just kind of lurked in the back of my mind. Who knows? But I like to think of the whole thing of, like, maybe the Grand Priest is building Goku up to this whole Ultra Instinct for a purpose. Because maybe Goku can do something that the gods can't. Like, maybe, like, someone basically has, like, an God of Destruction bug spray or something like that, so to say. So, I don't know. I like to think that this whole tournament is kind of a build-up for something else. At least that's what I think.
I will also say, on like a super Dragon Ball Super side note, I really like that they made this ultimate form for Goku, Ultra Instinct, that, like, you know, even though we've seen in the picture so far his hair changes, we've seen in little spots with Beerus when Beerus was doing it against all the other gods in the preliminary match that they have for the manga chapter. We didn't see him, you know, change or have an aura or anything. So maybe when you actually have it mastered out, you're not showing anybody how amazing you are. You know, when we see Whis showing off the Ultra Instinct style to Goku and Vegeta before he ultimately steps in the Dr. Slump style poop, he's talking about how you're supposed to just move as one. And that's a very interesting thing that we see. Even though me saying moving as one doesn't do anything, it's very interesting to see that they don't have any kind of sign of power-up or aura, or just everything's self-contained and they're self-aware. Their limbs are self-aware. And that makes, even though it wasn't originally written this way, that makes that Oob fight that's going to be happening after Z even more amazing, because yet again, even though it was stated before any of this stuff happened, if you're thinking that Goku is going to this match to get Oob to have the ultimate fight, we're talking about Kid Buu, quote-unquote, fighting Ultra Instinct Goku. That's just something that's, like, mind-blowing. And that can turn into its own style of spin-off, and that would be something that would be interesting and a good way to continue on after Z, because Super has to end somewhere. I'm not saying that they're not going to make a show after Super, but it's going to have to take place after Z. I mean, they've already retconned a bunch of stuff, but they're not going to be able to retcon the ending of the original series, because this takes place in that time skip. So having him actually know Ultra Instinct was a good kind of way, I feel, to actually tie it around back to the end of Z, since, you know, we see him fight Oob base form, and he never even tries to go Super Saiyan or anything like that. And I feel like that's a good little thing to tangent off on. But is there any last words that you would like to say on what you want to see from the Tournament of Power or anything like that, Scouter?
I mean, I'm not too sure what else to say besides, as more time goes on, that fight between Goku and Oob is just that much more intense. Or, I don't have much else to say besides just that fight with Goku and Oob is just going to be that much more intense as time goes on and we don't see it. Because, yeah, already, like you were saying, Ultra Instinct Goku, I mean, it kind of brings in that whole thing of, like, it gives a reason why Goku's in his base, especially now. So, I mean, I think it's a smart move. I think that, I mean, I just want to see Oob after this tournament. That's basically what I want.
What I want to see is, like, I want to see them in Super. Before they end Super, I want to see them do the Planet Sadal or Planet Sadala arc. I definitely want to see that. I was super hyped when Vegeta kept talking about it, and I was like, okay, this is actually something I think Toei's trying to, like, you know, pepper in. Like, hey, this is what we're going to be doing sometime in the future. But them ending Super and turning it into Dragon Ball Forever or Dragon Ball and Friends, or whatever they're going to change it to after this, just leaves me in shock. I mean, they have so much material at this point. They have so many universes. They have so many little side tangents that they could do, that this show is not dying. That's what's going to be great for us Dragon Ball fans, because I'm going to be able to make Dragon Ball YouTube videos until I'm 60 or 70 or until I'm dead. And that's something to me that sounds like a great prospect, because I love anything, you guessed it, Dragon Ball. So I think that's where we're going to end out on this conversation. I do want you guys to, again, go to the link in the description below and check out Golden Scouter's channel. Like I said again, amazing videos, always bringing you reviews on the recent Dragon Ball Super episodes and always bringing you the best combination of drinks that you can see in your life. So definitely go down, check him out. I also want to hear your guys' thoughts on what you think of the Tournament of Power so far, what you think is going to happen in the future with the Tournament of Power, how you feel about Gogeta, Vegito, Kefla, who you think's cheating in the actual universe tournament, how you think it's going to finish, and anything like that. I want you guys to hit that down in the comments section below. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw today, don't forget to hit the red button below for more Dragon Ball content featuring me and some of my great friends. I want you guys to have an amazing day. I want you guys to have an amazing life, and I'll catch you guys next time.